no telethon this year. We are live. Yeah. Let's stand and sing together. Once upon a time, there was a center where we learned to live a life that's true. Remember how we laughed away the hours and thought of all the great things we could do. Those were the days, my friend. I know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. When the busy world goes rushing by us and we misplace our spirit on the way, next time that I see you at the center, we'll smile at one another and we'll say, those are the days, my friend, though they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. These are the days. And we're going to introduce Mr. Bob Schaefer to do our announcements today. We do things a little backwards, a little off the beaten path in February, so take it away, Bob.
Okay, now if you'd open your notebooks to page 47, there will be a quiz tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong room. You know, it's hard to follow this. Okay, good morning. My name is Bob Schaefer, and on behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action, every day, in every way. What a wonderful statement. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind, and you'll find the principles and declaration on the back of our program. And if you would join me, please. I believe there's an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. If this is your first time here, we especially welcome you and thank you. I believe we have a cousin, is it Benjamin? Nephew. that needs to be embarrassed. Well, that's what I was told. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're really nice. Okay. Do we have anyone else here? Okay. Please stay after. Join us for some refreshments. I think you'll find we're an interesting group. Okay, we are supposed to thank everybody. That's all of us. But we do really do appreciate the volunteers that have been helping us. And some announcements.
We should also mention that Donna's son here is here today, Don. Let's give him a big welcome. Good to see you back. I hope I did what I had to do there, Gray. Okay. Each year, we reserve February for our pledge campaign, where we ask our members to consider what they'd like to pledge financially towards our center's well-being. We do this in a tastefully manner, and we do it in an entertaining way that will make February a lot of fun. I know I'm standing here. Hi. Always wanted to do that. So we'd like to play a video for you from one of our past pledge campaigns. Here you'll see Heather and Bruce and Ed singing a song called Old Sonora, which is from the musical Oklahoma. So can we roll that?
People welcome you, it's like family too. Everything you like would have gone. Oh, Sonora is the best new thought throughout the land. Knowledge you will gain and expand your brain, and the music that we play is grand.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Submitted for your approval, tonight's tale called To Pledge, Perchance to Dream. The subject of our story, John Maurer, a thinker, a doer, a dreamer, a pledger. John is a man's man. Who you have just witnessed is John, the mild-mannered spouse of the minister, as he sits faithfully in the front row at the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. John enjoys his wife's message as he does on any given Sunday. But on this Sunday, John has taken on a detour into dimensions of sight, a dimension of the science of mind.
I understand it was a nice church.
Yeah, but they didn't get the financial support it needed to keep its doors open.
That's a shame.
And I just want to thank each and every one of you for your commitment to this year's pledge campaign. I want to let you know that we not only reached our goal, but we exceeded it.
I had the craziest dream.
We are grateful for your 2022 pledge. May our center grow and prosper, so we never enter the twilight zone. Channel Broad. Submitted for your approval.
More the perfect outfit for that, Donna.
Yeah, really. Perfect.
Well, I actually wore it because I thought we were going to be outdoors. I thought I was going to be outdoors and it's warm.
Pretty sparkly.
Tonight's tale called To Pledge to Jance. To Jance. Yes, we're going to Jance now. Okay, take.
Boy, the outtakes are going to be great.
Okay, here we go.
But don't wake up until I say action.
Okay.
Submitted.
Okay, we're going to do it one more time.
I'll get it right after this.
Who have you just witnessed?
That's a shame.
She didn't say action.
You're good at it.
Outtakes. Okay, be looking at them. Action.
In the front row with the Sonoran denter for dent up dap dap.
The Sonoran dentist.
Yeah.
Great. Freeze right there. Was that all the dialogue?
Yes.
Okay, great. So,
Who you have just witnessed? John, the mild. Wait a minute. What?
and Lynn, cry right into the camera.
That's a shame.
Okay, and now can we get quiet and let Lynn say her line again? On its own?
I'm Jansing. No, down, Heather.
That's a shame.
Okay. All right, and let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Sleep first.
Okay. Here we go.
Donna, where's she shooting? Go that way. Thank you.
I'm a bop bop dap dap. I'm a dup doop doop dap. Okay, two guys.
Skibbity bop. Oh, now you're in the shot. Come this way.
Over this way.
Come this way.
Of sight and sound of the science of mind.
Yeah.
Messed up my
Hearing your mind.
my thing. How could you do that? I've been waiting for this moment.
Submitted for your approval.
whatever it was. Places we really enjoy, like Ulala and Center. The friendships that we share with people we come from all of you. So, what would it be like if you woke up one day and our center wasn't here? And you entered the twilight zone. You know, there's a couple of people you can actually ask. You can ask Bailey what that was like. You can ask Barney and Susan time we would miss the center. You can ask in this room, Dan and Jackie. And I think they would tell you this. They'd tell you it's almost a prosperous place, as our center, filled with fabulous people that we love and enjoy seeing every Sunday, a place that provides us spiritual fulfillment and the love that we all cherish. But it's fun to reminisce about the past. And the song says those were the days, but we live in the present. These are the days. So, these are the days that we're going to ask you to determine how much our center actually means to you and what you'd like to do to avoid the twilight zone. So we're going to ask you to open your hearts and pledge. Help support our center financially by filling out a pledge card. After you fill out a pledge card, you can choose a motivational sticker. A motivational sticker, you can stick it on the calendar and right at the left, you can print your name underneath it showing that you have pledged. Not the amount, just that you have pledged. Each Sunday we'll have a goal listed, and for that week, and we will keep you informed as to where we stand for the month. Our goal is to hit $94,000. And thus far, we already have $22,200 from just a couple of people. So we're already off to a good start. I hope that you'll come up and see us after if you're ready to pledge. Now realize this is going on for the whole month of February, so you have 2 more Sundays. If you're not ready to pledge, don't pledge now. But if you need to. But if you know what you want to do, please come forward and see us up here. On the board, and we hope that you'll help us get a pledge campaign goal and keep us out of. Thank you very much.
The God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Well, people. I'm John Lopez, and I'm a practitioner this morning. And please join me in our opening invocation. Let's know together that there is only one mind. It's the mind of God, and it expresses in, through, as each one of us here today creates this sanctuary. And I know and declare that our service this morning is already a perfect idea in the mind of God, in this mind which expresses in, through, and as every one of us. I know and give thanks and am grateful for everyone who makes this service what it is each and every Sunday, from our amazing volunteers, our practitioners, the words of Reverend Donna, which are inspired by this mind, and the spiritual music of our awesome music director, Heather. I'm so grateful for this truth. I know that this service is already perfect, whole, and complete, and we anchor this together by saying, so it is. So Donna's talk this morning is the dimension of imagination. So I found a perfect read from Neville Goddard's book, Power of Awareness. And it's from chapter 5, and it's called The Truth That Sets You Free. Since your life is determined by your assumptions, you are forced to recognize the fact that you are either a slave to your assumptions or their master. You can attain this mastery by deliberate, conscious control of your imagination. You determine your assumptions in this way. Form a mental image, a picture of the state desired of the person you want to be. Concentrate your attention upon the feeling that you are already that person. First, visualize the picture in your consciousness. Then, feel yourself to be in that state as though it actually formed your surrounding world. By your imagination, that which was a mere mental image is changed into a seeming, solid reality. The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. General imagination alone is the means of your progress, for the fulfilling of your dreams. It is the beginning and end of all creating. When the forms of your imagination are as vivid to you as the forms of nature, you are master of your fate. Visions of beauty and splendor, forms of a long-lost race, sounds and faces and voices from the fourth dimension of space and on through the universe boundless. Our thoughts go lightning shod. Some call it imagination, and others call it God. So lighting our service candle, which represents the light of imagination embedded in each and every one of us. I'm going to go over to practitioner team and hold the high watch. And if there's anything going on with you that you would like prayer about, please come see me or fill out a card. And amazing practitioner team will do prayer for you. All this
Once again, Heather, Dawn, Lynn, and the Sonora Desert Players. We're putting the fun, we're going to be fun to our center for our annual pledge campaign. I think that we got one of the very fewest churches that have a great time doing it. I keep telling the story every year because it was such a fun story. When we first started doing pledge campaigns, we announced the last week of January that February was going to be our one pledge campaign. We're going to be talking about money. But very few people showed up. But we had a good time. And the next year, people said, "Oh, that was good. I'm going to come watch it this year." And then by the third year, we had people who weren't even members of our church say, "Would you let me know when you're we want to see the skits that you do." So we become all that way, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, and I love the fact that we are kind of bouncing off the Twilight Zone. That was one of my favorite series, and to this day, I still watch some of the real black and white reruns. What I love about the beginning of that episode, the narration at the beginning, that there is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It's this dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. Middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is the area we call the Twilight Zone. While many of the episodes of the Twilight Zone were very scary, like John's dream, the truth is that it is this dimension of imagination that is really our connection between our outer world affairs and the limitless creativity of the universe. Now, Albert Einstein once told a friend, "When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come close to the conclusion that the gift of imagination has meant more to me than any talent for absorbing absolute knowledge." And elaborating, he added, "All great achievements of science must start from intuitive knowledge. I believe in intuition and inspiration. At times I feel certain I am right while not knowing the reason." So as metaphysicians, you and I use this dimension of imagination to see beyond whatever is happening at the moment and look to that which we call the highest and best good in the situation and for everyone concerned with it. Our prayer work asks us to see the perfection of an imperfect situation. It asks us to see beyond the disharmony to the truth of our being, which is love and peace. It asks us to see beyond any problem to its spiritual solution, which always rests on love. Isn't that imagination? Walt Disney was one of the greatest dreamers that has ever been. He called his staff Imagineers. And he knew his roots. He said, "If you can dream it, you can do it. Remember, this all started with a dream and a mouse." That's all it. And our center, Don mentioned, our center began actually more than 17 years ago, when a small group in someone's living room had a dream to start a center, and then the imagination to see that dream coming true. So they found a space in the Best Western Hotel in Green Valley, and they hired Reverend Marcus Rodriguez. And the Zion people came in to help make our center a reality. A lot has happened since, and I truly believe that we are where we are because we held in our imagination a shared vision that moved us from Sunday only rental space to owning what we own now, all our space out here, which houses our sanctuary, our offices, the salon, and meeting room. And for those of you who may not know our story, our sanctuary was a vacant lot when the property owner, Art Gould, said, I'll build you a chapel if you can come up with $60,000 in tenant improvements. Remember, we're speaking about a maximum of 50 people. We came together and said, can we do it? And the answer is yes. We came with the 60,000, plus another 17,000 in chairs, another 5,000 in audio equipment. We did that in less than 3 months. Less than 3 months. And then Art decided to sell the property for $375,000, which was half of its original asking price. And so he came to us and said, if you'll do a $75,000 good faith down, I'll do a 4-year interest-only loan for you. And again, we came up with that money in less than 3 months. Part of it was from gifts, and part of it was from no interest, interest-only loans of 4 years. And there was no collateral, there was nothing to hold that. So if you lost it, you lost it. And people came up with that. Our down payment in less than 3 months, purchased the property in April of 2011, paid off the 4-year loans in less than 2 with a big help from the law. And later, when Don Reed wanted to downsize, he offered to take over the loan, which ended up being finally because of what we put down and because Art gave us a major discount. It ended up being around $230,000. And today we owe just about half that on a piece of property that's estimated to be at least $500,000. So we are in very good shape. In our own way, we are in a very, very good shape. I love this statement. Walt Disney says, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. and several times people have asked me about the center, and I've answered, well, I think we're at our best when we're doing the impossible. This year, of course, and last, we've been through some tough times. COVID has shut us down and completely. But we have been able to bounce back to maintain our property. And if you've been with us a while, you know that this attendance is low compared to this time of the year. Because the effects of COVID are still around. People are still not feeling comfortable in closed spaces. Yet we've been able to survive because so many people who are still isolated and not coming are sending their pledges with a future that they can come back. Not chains on the doors. And I'm very proud of us that we have survived because many churches have not. And I think that right now, we've been surviving. Now it's time to dream a bigger dream. It's time to step out. So what is your dream for the center? Look at that this coming year. Find what is our dream? What is our future? Where do we want to go from here? What would you like to see us accomplish this year, next year, maybe in 5 years? Because if we imagine that together and take necessary actions, we can accomplish the impossible. And we know we can do it because we've done it. So when you and I have faith that the universe has our back, it's much easier to think outside the box. It's much more possible for our dream or vision to be fulfilled. So our job is to see our dream as already fulfilled. It is the job of the universe or spirit then to fill in the specifics. And that way, then any action that we take comes from spirit's guidance for our purpose. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry tried to Eris. A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it, bearing within him the image of a cathedral. The cathedral, as a vision in the mind of this one man, is now part of the subjective landscape of consciousness. And whether the man who contemplates the cathedral builds it or not, because it has touched his heart, he has placed it in the realm of possibility for all of us. See how that works? So as we celebrate the journey of our center, we thank everybody here for being the ones that put our center into the realm of possibility. And we've come a long way. I'm excited to see it. Now, I've been doing some research on imagination, and I found a formula that Walt Disney his success is the keys to the success of the entire Disney company. And when I read them and thought about it, I thought, well, we do that. We do that. The steps are think, believe, dream, and dare. That's simple. So, since we think all the time, Disney's definition of think must mean something more than random thoughts buzzing around our mind. Motivational coach Peter Sinclair says to think is to drink from the very depths of your soul. To think is hard work, and that's why so few do it. To think is to sink your dream teeth into the depths of your imagination. This is where plans are made. This is where dreams are laid. This is where visions are displayed. Blueprints of your future are forged during these times of focused thinking. The focused thinking requires some discipline. As in meditation, we need to slow our thoughts, we need to become focused, and expand what we are focusing on. We might think about what are our highest values and how can we add those values to whatever our dream is. There's all sorts of making our dream bigger. Deepak Chopra says that we are bundles of thoughts in a thinking universe. So to me, this means that there are those places when my thoughts touch the very fabric of the universe. And focused thinking connects us with that universal intelligence that is the birthplace of our imagination. Second one is belief, and belief requires faith in this wonderful connection between our outer world, where we see ourselves as a person separate from others, where our thoughts are connected to experiences that we can taste, touch, and smell, and that place where our inner wisdom connects us to the wisdom of the cosmos. And that's the place of pure potentiality, which we choose our experiences through our imagination. Jesus said, it's not I, but the Father within that doeth the work, and I think that's what he meant. He knew that the power of his belief, he knew the power of his belief, because he knew the power back of it. And when we see that what we are thinking about, what we would like to see happen in our life, has the power of the universe behind it, it's easier to believe in ourselves and in our dreams. And it's easier to open our imagination to what seems impossible. The third one is dream. Peter Sinclair says, go on, dream the impossible and improbable dream. Don't dream ordinary, dream extraordinary. Write and speak your dream, align your dream with your passion, and watch it grow up very night. Well, as a student at Yale, Fred Smith dreamed of an efficient overnight delivery system. His ideas were turned down by the U.S. Postal Service, by UPS, his own business professor, and virtually every delivery expert in the universe doomed his enterprise to failure. I had a package from FedEx last week. Now a household name. Chester Carlson invented the copy machine in 1938, but his ideas were repeatedly rejected, mostly by the argument that carbon paper was cheap and plentiful, and no one needed an expensive copier. So he stuck to his dream. And what office doesn't have a copier? And how many offices have carbon paper? Not skin or everybody. Did you know that Jim Carrey was making Oscar acceptance speeches at age 6 before he had ever stepped foot on the stage? Our dreams, like thoughts, have more than one dimension. Every dream has a spiritual side. And if we can step into that side of it, our dream becomes even more worthwhile. Chester Carlson had a love of graphic arts from childhood. And when he brought an old printing press, he realized how difficult it was to get words into hard copy. And that began his dream of a duplicating process, a way to bring words to the world. That was the spiritual side of that dream. Jim Carrey said in his commencement address to the graduates of Maharishi University of Management, when I was about 28, after a decade as a professional comedian, I realized one night in LA, the purpose of my life had always been to free people from concern. When I realized this, I dubbed my new devotion the Church of Freedom from Concern. And I dedicated myself to that ministry. So if we follow Walt Disney's criteria of think, believe, dream, and dare, we're going to also find our ministry as individuals and at the center. And we already have our statement, love and action, every day, every way. And we can fill that in a little bit with how are we? Where are those actions going to take us? Our dreams create the platform upon which steps can be taken. That last one is dare, which is defined as the courage to take action. So to think, believe, and dream are the steps that initiate our creative imagination, and the final step is to activate it, to take inspired action. If we trust the process, if we trust that the universe has our back, and wants our dream to become realized as much as we do, then we will have the courage to pay attention and to follow that intuitive urging. We'll begin to see glimpses, signs, coincidences that can be trusted to lead us calmly and deliberately into whatever is next for us. And we'll be spirit-led in each and every step we take. We set a pledge goal of $94,000. And that requires faith, since we're still feeling the effects of COVID. But together, as we continue to grow our spiritual holy family, we can meet our needs with moral. It's a journey we take together. It's a journey from the heart. And I thank each and every one of you for embarking on this journey together. And I'm going to close with the words of our founder, Dr. Ernest. Let us feel that our purposes are animated and inspired from on high. And then let us go forth and make our dream come true in human experience. With an invisible intelligence to guide and an immutable law to direct. Let us take our place in any legitimate activity and thus cause our dreams to come to full fruition. Thank you.
Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark, right what's up for you. Imagination, imagination. A dream can be a dream come true with just that spark from me and you.